One sunny Sunday afternoon, Mr. and Mrs. Hopper were returning home from Temple when they came across something in the distance.
Oh, Mr. Hopper, what's a going over here there? There's a little thing.
Upon further inspection, Mr. and Mrs. Hopper were surprised to find that it was a little baby.
Oh, it's a baby,
exclaimed Mrs. Hopper. Mr. and Mrs. Hopper always wanted a baby of their own.
Oh, I don't know, Mrs. Hopper, he looks a little weird,
declared Mr. Hopper.
Yeah, but we'll love him just the same, Mr. Hopper. He's the best. We'll call him Peter.
And they did love that baby. And the couple raised Peter as if he was their very own tadpole.
Here you go, Peter. We'll catch this ball. All right, Peter, it's time for you to go to sleep now. I'll just read this little book.
Eventually, it was time for little Peter's first day of school. He was very excited, and a little nervous too. When Peter arrived at the classroom, he was greeted at the door by his new teacher.
Hello, I'm Mr. Croakley, and welcome to my classroom,
said the teacher kindly. In frog school, the teacher taught the students very important frog things that needed to be done in very specific frog ways.
Keep those tongues straight,
Mr. Croakley uttered. Peter rarely met his teacher's expectations, and never really felt included either. He preferred to make his webs by his lonesome. But Mr. Croakley didn't much like that.
You cut that out this instant! You are a bad boy! A bad boy!
Mr. Croakley would shriek. Peter really didn't like school all that much, and wished he could just stay home with his ma and pa.
Oh, it's all right, Peter. It's not your fault that Mr. Croakley wants to throw a little wobbler,
said Mr. Hopper, trying to comfort his son. One night on the telly, there was an advert for the upcoming first ever annual Fly Pie Day celebration. Everyone loved flies and was very excited for the first ever annual Fly Pie Day celebration. The beloved Mayor Saggy McBaggy appeared on the telly and explained,
Everyone needs to contribute their specified fly quota so we have enough flies to make the very first ever annual Pie Day a roaring success. I'm especially counting on each one of our esteemed schools to meet their required number of flies for the festival to even happen.
The next day at school, Mr. Croakley seemed especially stressed out and shouted at his students about the importance of meeting the fly catching quota.
We need to catch enough flies so the ministry knows I am doing my job. I cannot look poorly,
shrieked Mr. Croakley. The students tried hard to catch flies, but it proved very difficult since they could not use their tongues, for they would accidentally eat all the flies. When it came time to count the flies, the school unfortunately did not meet the standard quota, and the first ever annual Pie Day would be cancelled.
Oh, Slippy, we don't even have nearly enough flies in there. Oh, I know, Slimy. It's a sad day for all of us. Flippin' heck, eh?
The night before the pies were due to be baked, Peter set off on his regular evening walk. When he came across two tall, beautiful trees, an idea, or maybe an instinct, struck Peter. He would make something beautiful. The next morning, Peter's creation, in all its sticky glory, was covered in a wall of flies. Enough flies were caught in Peter's web to supply all the flies for the first annual Fly Pie Day celebration. That evening on the telly, Peter received a Medal of Innovation from the beloved Mayor Saggy McBaggy for single-handedly saving the first annual Fly Pie Day celebration.
Oh, thank you, Peter. Thank you for saving the day and catching enough flies for the first annual flyby to be a great success.
You know, maybe I ought to widen my horizons.
Well, you know, Mr. Croakley, there's more than one way to bake a pie.